And a good 3 o'clock hour to you. Chief Meteorologist Tim Buckley here with you, tracking the severe weather threat as we go through the rest of the afternoon and into the evening hours today here in the Piedmont. We want to be weather aware. We like to call it that, being weather aware. Make sure you know what's going on. You're ready to act if need be, because some of the weather coming our way could get a little bumpy, especially between now and around 8 o'clock this afternoon. We have gone ahead and called it a News 2 weather impact alert day. Reason being, some strong to severe level thunderstorms, well, they're going to be possible for our area. In fact, we're already seeing some of those move our way from the west. The main time frame, as we said, is from now through about 8 p.m. I'll let you know that could extend a little beyond that. I just think the bulk of this is going to be out of here by around 8 o'clock. The cold front itself doesn't move through until around 10 p.m. so we'll watch, but it's mostly between now and 8. And again, keep an eye on those alerts. Make sure you have those turned on your phone, but you're already doing the right thing by checking in with us and getting that latest forecast here on WFMY Plus on our YouTube page. You can just find us so many spots now. We really appreciate you checking in throughout the day. Wanted to start with this. These are our preconditions, right? When it comes to thunderstorms and severe weather, you kind of need to have a couple of things. Number one, it needs to be warm. You need to have a good amount of upward motion throughout the atmosphere. Typically, you're going to do that by making it warm and humid down at the ground. And we have that today. It's a little muggy outside. Temperatures are in the mid to upper 70s here locally, low 70s in the foothills. Severe weather's not as likely over there, and it won't be happening in the mountains where temperatures are only in the upper 50s right now. Live look at Burlington, North Carolina. A little bit of a wind here. Breeze is coming in at about 15 miles per hour. Winds are not all that bad, but the temperature's warm. It's at 76 degrees with a dew point at 59. Right now, and similarly across the area. Another thing that's important to look for is, do you have any sunshine breaking through the clouds? Most of the day we've still been pretty cloudy out there, but there is some sun starting to kind of poke through. When that does, it heats up the ground, of course, and you start to get more of those upward currents, which can create those tall thunderstorm clouds that you see on these type of a day. Greensboro, pretty bright out there as well. Good amount of sunshine making it through with the warmth and the humidity. So we have this chance for thunderstorms. What's going on as of 3 o'clock? Well, you can see over here, right toward Hickory and parts of the western Piedmont, there are some storms already forming, getting a little closer to us. If we take a little bit of a closer view, here's Statesville, there's Charlotte. We have a pretty large storm right now with heavy rain, not all that much lightning, just to the south of Hickory and just to the west of Charlotte. So this is going through Gastonia. Over here, if we zoom in even more, you can see right there near Kings Mountain. Heavy rain, not severe, not likely. Probably no hail in this, but maybe some gusty winds happening in this area for Gaston County, and similar up the line here. Gets a little bit weaker as you move toward Alexander County and Wilkes County, but we're seeing a bit of a thunderstorm forming right now near Morganton in Burke County with a good amount of lightning and some downpours. So this is something that we can expect to move our way. Again, not until 4, 5, 6 o'clock this afternoon, but it's good to be ready. Winds are only gusting right now in that 15 to 25 mile per hour range, which we can certainly handle. However, you might expect as the day goes on, the winds will start to get a little bit gustier, a little bit breezier as the cold front gets closer to us. Always helpful to look on the wide view and see how the storm is developing. This is the line that presents the biggest threat of severe weather for us. Right now it's tracking from the North Carolina mountains down through South Carolina, down to Georgia, and all the way down to the Gulf Coast in the panhandle of Florida. Along this line, those big yellow boxes, those are severe thunderstorm warnings, and there's a lot of them right now, especially in South Carolina. This part of the line seems to be the strongest at this point. It's going to miss us to the south, but it is kind of something we should be watching just to see what the potential is like today. All those lightning strikes are happening right there along the Georgia-South Carolina border. Here's Augusta, big day there in a couple of weeks, of course, and we're looking at all the heavy rain, gusty winds, and possible hail falling from these storms. That's why they have severe thunderstorm warnings on them right now. Now, in addition to those warnings, this pinkish box, which goes all the way to Columbia, Charlotte, Greenville, Spartanburg, down to Augusta, that's a severe thunderstorm watch. That means right now all of the conditions needed for severe weather, they're there in those areas, and that means people should be on alert. Now, those individual storms, once they get severe, that's when you get a severe thunderstorm warning, and that's when you want to act. So keep in mind, we're probably going to get a severe thunderstorm watch for our area in the next little bit. and it would likely go through the late evening hours. That's when you want to be on the lookout for warnings, which means the actual storms are starting to come. Everything is still dry across the rest of North Carolina, including our area, but these starter storms, these first round of storms, they're going to be headed our way as early as about 4 o'clock. This main line back there, that would be trailing behind it closer to 5, 6, 7, and 8 o'clock this evening. You think about how long it takes to drive down 85 to get down to Atlanta and Greenville, Spartanburg, it takes a little while, right? So there's the first line moving through Hickory over toward Charlotte. No warnings on that one yet, but that could change. Then over here toward Greenville and Spartanburg, Clemson as well, Anderson, South Carolina. This storm is quite a bit stronger. And if we look, a lot of text on the board here, I understand that, but they're estimating wind speeds could be as high as 70 miles per hour with this particular thunderstorm, and even so that there might be a tornado possible in the bulk of this system. Right here, we're near Liberty, South Carolina, along Highway 158. You see that brighter shade of green next to the darker shade of green? To me, that tells me there's at least some rotation going on inside that storm right now. This is just to the north and east of Clemson University. So this is something that we'll be watching as those storms get a little closer to us. We'll be looking at each one, seeing how fast the winds could be. Is there any hail in there? And is there any rotation, which tends to tell us if tornadoes would be possible. We are in a pretty elevated risk of severe weather for today. We rank this on a 1 through 5 scale when we assess how bad the storms could be or how many there could be. Level 2 for most of the state in yellow, but from the Triad to the Raleigh area all the way to the Charlotte area down to Columbia, we're in a level 3, which means severe storms are a bit more likely than normal with a typical storm system. Now here's the tornado concern for today. Thankfully for us, it's just a 2% risk within 25 miles. That's a lower tornado threat, but still something we'll want to be keeping an eye on and making sure we're alert even so. Noticing our futurecast right now, remember we tracked those storms on live radar a second ago. They were right about here. That means our futurecast is running a little bit too slow. So keep that in mind as we pass through this a little bit. Let's forward this along. We'll get closer to 5 and 6 o'clock this evening. These storms, again, a little bit too slow. They could be here as early as 4 to 5 o'clock this afternoon. And some of them could be strong to severe. Damaging wind gusts could be an issue. You might want to go ahead and stack some of that outdoor furniture. If you have anything that could blow around, those are good things you can do right now. It has it pretty much dying out by around 7 to 8 o'clock tonight. So again, that main threat, as I was mentioning, is between now and about 8 o'clock this evening. Once you get closer to 9 and 10 o'clock, that's when the actual cold front moves through. Notice how the winds are northwest now? That's the behind of that cold front. And we will see cooler weather across our whole area for tomorrow. The main threats and concerns for us, damaging wind gusts, which could be as high as 40 to 60 miles per hour, enough to down power lines and trees. But not everybody will see that. It's just a concern in those worst storms, so keep that in mind. Hail is a lower threat, a tornado is a low threat as well, and I'm really not that concerned about flooding with today's storms because it's been pretty dry, of course, across the area, and they might not produce more than 1 inch of rainfall anyway. We could see only between about 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch in most areas, so even so, we're not expecting a whole ton of rain for today. Over the next couple of days, we go throughout the rest of the week, we're mostly still going to stay dry. No other chances for severe weather apart from today in the forecast as it stands right now. We are anticipating cooler weather. High temperatures tomorrow only going to be in the mid and upper 60s. And then as we go through the rest of the week, we'll start to find a bigger warm up, especially by Thursday into Friday, with some 80s moving back in. As far as the weather impact for today, so strong and severe thunderstorms, which could have some wind gusts. They're most likely for the afternoon and evening hours, damaging winds and hail, the main concerns, but again, an isolated tornado. We just can't rule that out for you on a day like today. The rest of the week looks like this as far as we can tell. We're looking at upper 60s for tomorrow, maybe a little bit of fog or drizzle on Wednesday morning, and then temperatures really going way up by the end of the week in the low 80s for Thursday, upper 80s for Friday. It's possible parts of the state could have their first 90-degree day, if you could believe it, toward the end of this week. And for the upcoming weekend, looks to be pretty dry as of right now. We'll keep you posted if that changes. Next chance for rain looks to be Sunday night into Monday across our area. One last look at the live radar before we let you go. those storms are starting to get closer. We're going to be watching it live with you during our 4 o'clock newscast. Remember, we're live 4 to 6:30 p.m. every day with news right here on WFMY Plus and on WFMY TV. And throughout the evening, we'll have some cut-ins as needed as those storms move through the area. Make sure you're ready.